Hey, Snow.
Hey, MJ.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
It was a crazy week, to say the least.
Yes. Very crazy.
We'll save that. We'll save this story for a future episode. So it's Reality Redemption. Back again. Seems like we were just here a couple days ago.
We were on snow day.
Yeah.
We were here.
Snow starting didn't last long.
It was fun while it lasted.
Today we got Bridget.
Hello.
Yay!
Hey, Bridget. How
Hi,
you doing?
I'm good. I came out of my hermit hiding hole. So,
You're a hermit?
yeah.
We're glad to have you.
I'm a happy hermit.
Me too. I'm a total introvert too. I'm only forced to talk at work. You know.
I really do just hide out in the desert and that's it.
Like when you live in Kingman, you kind of like staying at home. I mean, it's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I love the pandemic as far as that goes. I had an excuse to not have to go anywhere.
I know. I keep going. I go. You know, one of the things I learned about pandemics was my life is a lot like quarantine anyways.
Yep.
It's really no different.
Yep. I was in my element and loving it. So yeah.
Like for the past few years, you know how we have like bike week
Yeah.
when all the Harleys come? I literally will say, all right, right after work, I got to get to the store, get my provisions so I don't have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And they can just have it. Just let the bikers have it. Let them roll around and have fun. Live it up. And I'll stay home.
I was watching Real Time last night, and they were talking about COVID, and I didn't hear this, but it's like a 90% chance that it did originate in a lab now.
In what?
That COVID originated in a lab.
In a
Great.
lab.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, can they
That's what they're
undo
saying.
it?
I know. They
If they
created a
figured
lab.
out how to make it, then how do they not know? If they're
Well,
going to make things like this, then why don't they figure out how to unmake them?
So, that gives the conspiracy theorists that it wasn't somebody just eating a bat.
And I'm going to have to see more
it
into
was-
this, though, because, I don't know if I...
Yeah. Now,
I'm going to get all conspiracy and be like, no, it didn't. It came from bats and pangolins.
Well, no, they said it still came from a bat, but it was a lab-generated thing that...
Oh, so they were... We could cuss, right? Okay,
yeah.
so they were-
Fuck yeah.
So they were fucking with it and...
They were fucking with it, and somehow it got out.
Why would they do
Great.
this? Why? Why would you do this? If you...
Because if you learn how to create viruses, you can also learn how to cure viruses. Could have been something like that. I don't think it was probably biowarfare.
Excuse me, I have very deep set eyes, but I feel like they might be popping out of my head right now. I'm like, what? That still blows my mind, though. Like, why are we trying to create more diseases? I do not understand this.
I don't know.
I'm never going to be able to wrap my brain around something like that.
This is some of the Planet of the Apes type shit.
Let's create something so we can come up with the anecdote. If we don't create it, though, we don't even need a fucking anecdote.
Hey, change the subject off of COVID for a second.
Okay.
We got our first fan feedback.
No
this
way.
week. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. It's simply said, "Fuck you, Mike."
You're
That's
doing it right if you're
awesome.
pissing them off.
Yes.
Karen, that came from Karen from Portland.
Karen Cutter. That was all me that came up with that one.
Oh,
all right.
I think we might have lost a listener on that one.
Moving on. Moving.
Or she's hate listening.
Hey, we were going to discuss something that had to do with her, though, today. I think that is on our agenda. I don't want to skip too far ahead,
No.
if you've got it.
No, that's...
Or we can, skip down to it, skip back. We can go all over the place.
you're rolling right down the road.
Rolling
I
like the punches.
set it up. You just hit it out of the park.
How do we do this? How do we always end up doing this? It's amazing. Okay, so then rolling right on into empathy versus sympathy. So did you get a chance to watch the Chelsea's Handler stand-up?
No, I have not.
Okay, so there's this part in it that, she talks about how she goes to a psychiatrist and she was talking about her issues, and her psychiatrist says, Chelsea, you don't have empathy. What you have is sympathy. And because empathy is when you can actually understand how the other person feels. You don't necessarily have to agree with how they feel, but you at least get it. Like, I mean, I understand I tell the guys at work all the time, I'm like, I see everyone's point of view here. I get all of it. I think a lot of you are wrong, but like, I understand where you're coming from. And sympathy is simply like you feel sorry. You can feel sorrow, or you can feel sorry for others.
Right. And our friend Karen,
In quotations.
Karen from Portland,
In quotations.
she liked to think of herself as an empathetic person, but
She's really not, because I mean, like, empathetic people don't yell at other people for getting a haircut from someone that they don't like and tell them that they can't be friends with that person and that they no longer want to be friends with you because you went and got a haircut from someone that they hate. Like, that's not understanding things, you know? Like, and that's being a control freak. That's trying to tell other people what they can do. And
well, and that alone, well,
I'm far too old for that, for people telling me what to do. My parents don't even try anymore.
And that alone, I mean, it went to, I got stuck in the middle of it and got yelled at because I was simply said, I'm not choosing a side on this one.
Yeah, and did you notice how when you told me the things, like, I didn't get mad and force you to choose a side? That was only coming from the other side that was telling you. And I was like sitting there like, I actually felt bad for her. I felt bad for Karen. I was like, Karen's really pissed right now. Karen's probably had a little bit of vodka, so she's probably not in her right frame of mind right now. She's even more angry.
There's that empathy.
And I feel bad for her because I'm like, I don't even want you to be drinking right now because you were supposed to be like recovering, and I feel bad that this triggered you. You used the word trigger to down a bottle of vodka, dude. And I'm like, I feel real bad. I still feel bad for you, but I also don't want you to telling me what to do. If you're listening, maybe I'll get a fuck you, Snow. Anybody else want to talk about empathy?
I don't know.
We shouldn't give her too much credit, this Karen.
I like to think of myself as an empathetic person. I mean, I guess I am. I mean, situations I've been in the last couple of weeks, I was kind of like looking at the other side of it going, oh, well, I can kind of see the person's point of view.
Right.
Even though it was a really fucked up thing.
Yeah, but you can be, I'm an empath, and you can go too far into the self-destruction realm. That's why I stayed in my last marriage way too long, because I kept seeing the good. And
so you can be too much.
You can be too,
empath.
yeah.
So you need to reel it back,
it's
too.
a balance, yeah.
Do you think there's a correlation between your political views and empathy?
I kind of do. Like, I can see it only because a lot of the Democrats I know have the ability to care about people they don't even know. And I'm not saying that all Republicans don't, but when the Republicans I seem to know, like, they care about people, but they have to personally know that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in order to feel bad for folks, or else they're like,
Right.
fuck you,
Yeah,
go
fuck
get a
your
job.
feelings,
You
yeah.
know, yeah, kind of like, yeah, insert any of the issues, right?
Yeah, or they're also, it could just be a member of the community. I mean, I know sometimes when things happen here and people are asking for donations, you see both sides, you know, giving in.
Right.
The other thing, why is it like the hardcore Christians, they don't seem like very empathetic people? The hardcore ones.
I know. Like, there's one that recently posted. So instead of me being mean to this person and posting a comment like a lot of her other friends railed on her, I took her post and made my own post about it to show, and I did it for the purpose to try to show like critical thinking, because I'm getting really tired of hearing about the bathroom issue, about people freaking out over somebody wanting to go into the bathroom that they identify with. Number one, I wish they'd turn all bathrooms into gender neutral bathrooms. If you gotta fucking piss, you gotta piss. Shut up. There's not a ton of, so I broke hers down and I was like, let's take a look at the people who have been busted in bathrooms for trying to have sex in there or whatever you guys are insinuating. Let's go ahead and take a look at those people. Because I remember I've heard there was that one that was at least a famous story that had happened not too long ago. I can't remember the senator's name, but he used to be the senator, I think, in Iowa, probably before Joni Ernst or something, that got busted having sex in an airport bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's not the first time I've heard that story, but it's like all the sex that's happening in bathrooms, it seems to be in the men's bathroom. I don't know what these people who freak out over people who have like, okay, so then they're transgender, so now the person is a woman and they want to go in the woman's bathroom, then there shouldn't be a fucking issue, now should there?
Right, and I don't know.
Like, God, their logic. I like to like try to break it down. I'm like, where is this person's head coming from? What do they think is happening? You know? Because it frustrates me. And then my need to be an empath and need to understand what the fuck they're thinking.
Well, describe what you posted though. What was it?
Okay, so I guess it was a bumper sticker. She posted somebody's sticker that said, if you're this, and it was the symbol for on a man's bathroom, and you try to go, if you should be in this bathroom and you try to go in this bathroom, and it was for a woman symbol, then you're going to need this bathroom, and it was the handicap symbol bathroom thing. Like yeah, you know, and they had this on the back of some probably redneck truck.
Like a threat of violence. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be more of a... It seems to be creepy if you're like paying attention to what the person's going to the bathroom for. I mean, what are you doing? I don't think twice if I see somebody going to a restroom. I don't think anything of other than...
I think they have to pee or do a number two. I mean, like...
But I don't pay attention to it.
Who wants to go hang out in bathrooms? It doesn't smell great in there. I'm like, what the fuck? This is what I'm talking about. I'm like, do they ever think about this? So I was trying to give this chick the benefit of the doubt. Well, she responded later, and I go, look, you put on there that you put above your post, no hate. So I took the liberty of doing it myself to discuss it because this matter keeps popping up, and I'm sick of hearing about this bathroom issue. I don't care where people go to the bathroom. I identify in going in the bathroom that has the shortest fucking line. Do you know how many times I've peed in the men's bathroom because women take too long?
Yeah, you know, back when we could go to concerts, men welcome the women coming in to go, into the bathroom.
They watch the door for you. Yeah. They watch the door for you. Like every time I've been in there, men have always been nice. They're like, I'll make sure no other dude comes in here.
Yeah.
I don't know what this, and that was my point of doing it too. That is all to be hateful. And I even tried reasoning with her. I was like, look, I know that you probably don't hate transgender people. And I don't even think you understood your own meme, and you got kind of played. You got tricked, and you don't feel this way. And then she was like, I believe that people should be what they are born. If you're born a man, you should be a man, and if you're born a woman, you should be a woman. And then her post kept popping up. So today I actually did comment, and I just said, look, because of all the comments that I'm reading, I had to comment this. When a baby is first not born, but I don't know, because sometimes they consider conception birth. They mix the two. Conception, everyone starts out as a female. According to science. And they start out with the 2X chromosome, and then it talks about through the gestation period. Once it goes through the gestation period, then the sex is determined. So shut the fuck up, lady.
Don't confuse the people with science out there.
And that's what I put at the end. I put science is your friend.
And then try to explain intersex to them. That'll make their head explode. But
I know. I've known people like my old union steward in Phoenix. She said that one of her cousin's kids, they had to decide when the child was born if they were going to have her be female or male. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't get this. It's like they don't understand that sometimes that happens in science. Like,
well, I mean,
and it's
people say, you should be what you're born with, but that's it. It's all the chemical makeup in your brain
it's
that
like,
makes
what if my wires up here aren't like that, though? You know, like,
or you got an extra X or Y. I mean, there's like 2% of the population that has that.
And
what people need to do is mind their own fucking business.
Well, no, exactly.
That's what they need to do.
Exactly. I mean,
and stop worrying about where somebody wants to go to the bathroom.
I know. I'm too wrapped up in my own stuff, even though I'm an empathetic person. I'm too wrapped up in my own life to pay attention to anybody else, what bathroom they're using, what their sexual orientation is, whatever. Who cares? Just go live your life, be happy, and.
I know. I just don't like it when I see the stuff that and I'll admit this is my fault, I get triggered by people who are trying to be outright bullies. And sometimes I can't keep my big fucking mouth shut, I'm serious. Like, I don't like people that was trying to attack a community of people. And it's like, why? Why do that? Like,
well, yeah, but then, I don't know. I was trying to keep this away from the left versus right type of thing, but it seems to fall along those lines of...
Politics is related to everything. People need to start realizing that. Like, they sit there and say, I don't want to talk about politics, but it's like, unfortunately, our daily lives, a lot of stuff in our daily lives has to do with it.
With speaking of empathetic people, we'll go to everybody's favorite senator, Bernie Sanders.
He's my favorite.
Did you hear how much he raised?
Yes, I did.
From that meme?
Yes, I did.
$1.8 million.
And made a company donate 50 more jackets.
Yeah, Getty. Right? Well, Getty Images, who took the picture that went
viral,
on fire,
beyond viral.
It was everywhere. I was getting sick of it. I'm like, enough.
I didn't post any of them because I was like, he looks so cold. Like, I want to give him a blanket.
Him and his mittens made out of recycled materials.
Yeah, and I had no idea what happened at first. Like, I already talked about that before. I heard the inauguration, didn't see it.
Getty Images also donated to the Vermont Meals on Wheels also on it. He made a bunch of sweatshirts that sold out immediately.
Well, I have an announcement to make. I have to make it on here so that I have to do it. If I get another stimulus payment, my next stimulus payment, if I qualify for one, because I have qualified for the other ones, I will be donating my money to the Kingman Area Food Bank. Because I am inspired by Bernie Sanders.
Bernie. I think Bernie sort of enjoyed what happened on Wall Street this week.
He did. He said...
I know. What was this?
What was the quote? He said,
I got it.
The tears.
Justin Timberlake's song.
Cry Me a River. Yes.
Yep.
I wish I could have seen him say it, though, because he probably was like, oh, cry me a river, and walking off. That would have been so great. So great.
Mic drop. Mic drop with his mitten.
And his angry looking face on. He's got angry burning face. And his hair better have been like all askewed at the time.
Now, we're not financial wizards here on this podcast because otherwise we'd figure out a way to make money with it. But
we'd be rich, bitch.
Basically what happened is a bunch of hedge fund managers tried to, they took basically placed bets that GameStop stock would tank, and users on Reddit found out about this and got people to buy up the shares of GameStop really cheap, which drove the stock prices way up. The hedge fund managers lost millions of dollars on this. And a couple points on that. That shows that the stock market isn't made for people like us.
No, it's not.
Because immediately they stopped trading on it once they realized that something was out of whack. And, the little people have figured out the game, not the big people. So the big people lost money. Little people made money on this one.
Hopefully they were able to sell really quickly and get their money versus ending up losing it once they figure something out to get their, because those millionaires, they're not going to go without. Aren't they going to figure out a way to get their money back?
No, they just lost their fourth yacht is all.
Right. But so those people who did make money, the good folks who made money, y'all motherfuckers sold your stuff, right? And got your money and got out, right? Before it
kind of reminds me of that movie Trading Places.
Oh, yeah. I saw that not too long ago. I love that movie.
Oh, jeez. So, Wall Street was all messed up. What else was going
on that tip too, so that that trading company, Robinhood or whatever, I did remember hearing on the news, the hourly news thing, that Google was trying to help them to get rid of their awful reviews because people went on and massively did such bad reviews that it lowered their star all the way to a 1 star.
On Robinhood?
Yeah, so they're trying to help them not have a 1-star review anymore because it'll hurt their business or something.
Huh. I wish I was a better Reddit user. I would have created a reality redemption company and got our stock driven up. And you could have made a fortune. Oh, geez. What else going on? Get back to the empathy versus, sympathy, narcissistic kind of stuff. Bridget, you showed me something this week about which side is more likely to date the other ones.
Yeah, and there's another article we were talking about where in the last 20 years, studies have shown that people in general on both sides have become less empathetic or selectively empathetic, and it's kind of led to the whole divide online, left versus right, because you just don't give a shit about the other side. You just, and so there was an interesting, the Pew Center did a really interesting study last year, which surprised me. Well, not this part didn't surprise me, that 7 in 10 Democrats would refuse to date a Trump voter. However, that didn't surprise me at all.
Right here, me.
What did surprise me is when you turn it around and they asked Trump voters, would you date a liberal? It was the opposite. 70% said they would.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're more understanding?
Maybe they're more empathetic.
Or maybe they're more desperate.
I don't know.
What if they can't be selective?
Or maybe all the hot people are left-leaning.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot to that. There is a gender deficit because more females are liberal.
Right. So it's like men saying,
right.
I'll date whatever will date me.
Right, because you do lower the playing field. If a conservative wanting to date another conservative, the playing field is going to be substantially smaller.
Yeah.
Now, because I've seen some of them on the dating site who will put no Biden supporters. And I'm like, all right, swipe left. Thanks for the warning.
I was talking to somebody recently, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm an empathetic person. We just won't talk politics and stuff like that." And something came up about, this is right before the Capitol thing, and she was like, well, I said something about the winner of the election. And she said, oh, the real winner, or the one that was, the one that was stolen. And I was just like,
So she puts the Q in crazy. She's one of those.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay. And I just brought up the fact, and this kills the argument every single time. If the election was rigged, why didn't the Democrats take the House and the Senate before Georgia?
I know. Mm-hmm.
And she was like, we have nothing in common. I can't speak to you anymore.
Good.
What an empath. What an empath.
I mean, just the simple little things like that,
My gosh.
Like, election. What is it that they still think he has a chance of being president after like March 6th or something? What happens on March 6th? It's some cute theory.
Oh, jeez. Why would he have a chance on March 6th? I don't understand. What's that?
I don't know.
Is that one of their Q dates and nobody else knows about it?
That's why the National Guard's still sitting around and waiting in Washington.
The Capitol still looks like a friggin' ghetto area or something with all the...
They're on duty through this March whatever thing, so...
Thanks to, America's ISIS.
So, Snow, you would not Trumpster, but would you date a conservative?
Yes, I've dated Republicans before. Republican, conservative, whatever they call themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, but...
Yeah, I've dated conservatives before.
I've actually... This is actually the first time I've ever dated guys on the left right now, honestly. And it has to do with me where I live, like in Arizona. Like, you don't... Well, and I will say, the people I'm talking to right now are not from Arizona.
The dating field is kind of really, in this area, really small if you're just going to stick to your own political side.
And I date men and women, and I couldn't find anybody. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I briefly dated a woman in Colorado, and that was too far. And I was talking to women in like LA and Palm Springs, and I got to the point where I want somebody nearby. Uh-huh. There's no females around here at all. These not under my search parameters, and I was looking under liberal or moderate people, whatever. Nothing. So I try to find. Okay, I'll try dating guys. So I put the search parameters in around here for a liberal guy between like 35 and 90. Nothing.
90.
Nothing. So I got on, I think it was Plenty of Fish, one of those that doesn't let you do that. There's no political choice on there.
What's the one that you can do political
Some
stuff?
do, some don't. Whatever one it was, I couldn't do that.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna assume the guys on here are probably all pretty much conservative. So I swiping away from the ones that like had their Trump hats on,
Yeah.
And then I came across this guy who was just different looking, cute, just like a surfer dude, right? Mm-hmm. So I started talking to him and had too much wine one night and just out of boredom pretty much. So I said, okay, call me tomorrow. And he actually called me when he said he would.
Oh, no.
Okay, let's meet let's do socially distanced coffee date with the mask and everything. He showed up on time with the mask, made a coffee, great. And he saw my car with all my stickers on it, my rainbow sticker, my Liz Warren sticker. So he knew my politics, but I didn't really know his. I just kind of assumed probably conservative. Uh-huh. It wasn't for like 3 weeks after we got to know each other that I finally said, here's my Facebook, because I got a new Facebook account. And I get on his Facebook and I go, oh shit. And Trump. Oh God. And so I texted him, I said, I don't know about this. I don't think our politics are going to work. And he thought I was joking, and I was seriously going to break it off. And I thought, this is a really nice guy. I mean, I've gotten to know him a little.
I thought you were empathetic.
Right? I'm a hypocrite. And so it was such a struggle. And then we got to talking, and he was like, well, I'm again, a hypocrite because I also do the same thing. I'm a complete shit stirrer on social media. I'm a loudmouth shit stirrer.
I love you on there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
but he's
keep
also
it up.
Yep.
Keep it up.
And he's the same way, but on the other side. So he says, yeah, I like to stir shit.
Is he actually good at it though? I've never found someone on the other side who's actually good at it.
He does it for fun. He doesn't do it to be mean. It's fun.
So he's a troll.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, but I guess I am too.
So he does it like funny, not like...
Yeah, he doesn't take politics seriously, it turns out. He's actually more of like an independent. He's actually got a lot of Bernie bro in him the more I talk to him. But he likes Trump.
There's a lot of those around here that were like... And I'm like, how do you go from that?
Yeah, and he's such a great guy. I'm like, okay. So I had to look in myself and have a discussion with myself. Which was hard. And we had a couple of, and it wasn't him, it was always me. Like, I was the one pulling away, going, I can't do this. I was the one starting shit and being the asshole. And he was just so understanding and so sweet and so patient with me and listening to me and discussing things calmly. I'm just like...
My God, he's like a woman.
He's
great.
An awesome guy. And I'm like, I'm going to walk away from this over politics?
You found the conservative unicorn.
He's awesome.
You got a unicorn.
And he's in super good shape and nice to look at. And there's that too. Yeah.
Well, looks can overcome a lot.
Yeah, he looks good naked. Anyway. Just put that out there. But so, and it's been like almost 3 months now. And neither of us really wants to get in anything like serious. So we're just friends right now. But
yeah,
he's taught me so much in a short time about myself. And just, I mean, I'm still the loudmouth liberal. You guys know. And we're actually not on each other's Facebooks anymore.
That's good.
Yeah. And I mean, I invited him back. He's like, no, I think I'm just going to stay away. And I'm like, that's fine. I can respect that. And because he really doesn't want to talk politics that much. He doesn't really like either side. He just likes Trump because Trump's a really great at marketing and branding himself. And he always has been. So I kind of understand that. Like, he's like the anti-politician for people who hate politics.
Well, and Trump went ahead and promised a lot of things because he saw how popular Bernie's message was.
Yes.
So he went ahead and promised these people a lot of that stuff.
He drank Bernie's milkshake.
Right, and it's like, where was your great healthcare plan that you had promised everyone? We never saw that or heard about it the entire... I mean, he's a very good liar. Trump is a very good liar.
He's good at spin, and I used to be in marketing and advertising, so I could see that.
He's a very good manipulator, yes, all of those things.
No,
master manipulator. Because I used to argue with people. I go, the man is not smart unless you're saying that, like school smart, book smart. He's not really one of those people. He's smart in the fact that he knows how to manipulate people.
And there's also people that kind of lean more toward anarchy who maybe don't like Trump for who he is, but they like what he's doing to fuck up everything. And they like that side of it too. And I've met a lot of those people lately.
Right.
And I can see where they're coming from. Because they want to fuck up the system. And Trump's doing a great job. Did a good job of it. Even though we're further divided, but...
Well, division was there before Trump.
Trump. He played into it.
I understand those people too, but it's like... But then I'm like, I understand them, but I'm like, you guys, that's only going to make things worse. Like, you guys are wrong. Like, you're not wrong to, like, think things, but, yeah, it's wrong to carry those kind of things out. Like, the whole insurrection. Like, wrong. I understood why they were frustrated, though.
Right. Did you see, 6 congressmen gave tours of the Capitol the day before? I have been saying since the start of this, I didn't know Andy Biggs had done it too, but I've been saying from the start of this, I'm like, why in the fuck is Gosar not in trouble? Like, that one, I'm like, he should be in fucking trouble.
And there's got to be surveillance video of this happening. And did you hear the news that came out this morning that those pipe bombs that were put outside the RNC and DNC offices had been set the day before? Yeah, I saw it. I heard something about like how they
they probably weren't like active ones.
Yeah.
Like
they had been placed before this all happened.
Wow, I didn't know that part of it.
That just came out this morning. So somebody let somebody in, and it was caught on video, on surveillance video. So I figure everything else was too. Like who was doing what ahead of time.
It's crazy. Our poor country.
And I call Gosar Gozer, the demon from Ghostbusters.
That's a good one. He is evil. Like, it's kind of sad, like, that his entire family made videos and campaigned for the other person who was running against him. Like,
and they've been writing letters to newspapers for years about their brother.
Yes.
There's like 6 of them, 6 siblings.
Right. It, like, I don't know how I do know how he keeps getting elected.
Well, do you think it's too late
to... He fits in with the folks around here.
Do you think it's going to be too late to put the Q back in the bag, though, after this? Because now you're getting these...
They need, first off, they need to get rid of that
Marjorie Taylor
Greene. She needs to go.
Well, unfortunately, it's a cult, so they're going to have some horrible ending. Like every cult does.
Like, yeah.
Violent death, horrible... Jim Jones kind of ending.
Like Waco, Texas.
Yeah. I'm afraid, I hate to say it, but I think that's the only reason, that's the only way it's going to go away.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, well, these people really will stop at nothing.
Maybe we should just date conservatives, make love, not war. And,
We should all take one for the team and start fucking conservatives so they're not all angry and
that's kind of what helped me.
Maybe they're all incels. Like maybe that's what's going on.
After the show, I'm gonna send Kelly Ward a text. Hey, baby.
trying to get with him.
And that's that's kind of how I kind of decided to do this. Like go forward with this at the beginning. I was like, this could be kind of a new kink.
Maybe I'll send something to Marjorie Taylor Greene because she is kind of cute. She's crazy as fuck, she's
crazy pussy's the best pussy though.
Oh, believe me, and I have a PhD in crazy. I got stories for days.
When we used to be on Facebook stirring the shit with each other politically, I would tell him I'd just sit on it. I'm just going to sit on your face and shut you up. So, and it was fun until he said something about Liz Warren, or I said something about Liz Warren, and I anticipated what he was going to say, even though he wasn't going there. And that's where I was like, oh, I was kind of an asshole. And I thought he was going to go the Pocahontas route, but he was actually going into more of a cultural appropriation thing. And I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah. But I got all like, don't be racist. And he wasn't, like, at all. And I just thought, okay, I was a jerk.
Is he from this area?
He's been here for a while, but originally from SoCal like I am. We have a lot of the same growing up kind of experiences. And we're close in age. And so we have a lot in common. But, yeah, it's been an adventure. I'm not even 3 months into it yet, and I feel like it's been years.
Oh, geez.
And because it's been hard for me. I mean, it's not his problem; it's my problem. Oh, okay. I'm the one who's been like, he could give a shit. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that I'm a liberal.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, most people don't think about politics as much as we do.
Maybe Republicans are more accepting than Democrats when they're getting sex. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, I'll just overlook it, Fuck yeah, I'm getting something out of it.
Well, I was the aggressor on that, so.
Yeah. Oh.
Sometimes you date a cute girl that's not that smart. You just have to be like, all right, we're not going to have a meaningful conversation anyway. So.
Yeah, we have very meaningful conversations. I haven't talked to a man this much ever in my life. It's different.
No, that's actually a good thing, though.
Yeah, we talk about everything. And he's very, he's a private person, but he's very honest. Like I can't believe you just told me that honest, just wow, just opened up. That's something you got to kind of stick with.
I hate that though. I hate when you open yourself up like that to somebody and you let them know your deep, dark secrets.
But he must trust me to tell me these things, so.
Oh, yeah. But once that ends, you just feel like, why did I tell that person all this stuff about myself?
I kind of like it, though, because I'm pretty open about everything. Yeah. Like, I talk about every single thing in my life. There's nothing I really don't talk about. So And I'm not really worried about people going and telling. Who are they going to go tell? What, are they going to call the newspaper and be like, hey, you want some dirt on... I mean, or they'll tell, like, maybe they'll tell some of your mutual friends, but you're kind of like, well, I don't care. And some of the stuff you might already know anyways, because you're friends with the person.
I don't know. I mean, I talk openly to some people, but I'm not comfortable with a lot of people knowing too much about me.
Yeah, well, then you just don't tell those people. And then if they say anything, like, because I don't talk to people at work about much because I'm assuming most of them do listen to Fox, so they, like, know how to spin shit. Like, they're like, oh, I've been trained on this for years. My parents have had me watching Fox since I was in diapers.
Well, I overshare to a fault. You've probably seen my Facebook page, so you know that. But
yeah, like, I don't like to put, the only thing I don't really like to put on Facebook or talk about at work are my personal relationships.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, because I just don't like to talk about that with
well, who wants your shit out there in the universe like that anyways?
Yeah, I see some of my friends that are like super happy and they're and I'm like, I wouldn't even put that on there. Like, I mean, and they're happily married people, but I'm like, that's a bit much.
Well,
that's a bit much.
Roll it back to the hate mail what we got in the beginning of this. That person would be posting like really personal stuff on social media
and starting shit. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. In that instance, when that all happened before, I was like, I tried to tell both sides because I was being the neutral friend, and I was like, it's not really good to put those kind of details on Facebook. Just because people are just going to be sitting there laughing. They're going to be like, ah! I mean, like, do you really want to do that? I mean, it's not going to do you any good. It's not going to solve any problems. And the person kept going. She kept going, and I was like, I'd be blocking her. I'd be like, you know what, because that's unfair. That's like hitting below the belt. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there was like all sorts of stuff being put out there. I was just like, wow. It wasn't any kind of direct, like, my name mentioned per se, but you could tell it was about me, and I was just like, well, we have mutual friends. Everybody knows who you're talking about.
Yeah, but all of our mutual friends, a lot of them unfriended her because of that. And they're like, we're done. Wait, she had no right to do that to you. So she ended up looking like the bad person. If you're still listening,
I don't.
You ended up looking bad, and you lost
I think they
friends.
probably shut it off about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, you lost other friends that you... Like other artists in the community, I'll give you that hint. You lost artist friends over that, just so you know.
So, anyways, that person does share certain traits with serial killers.
Oh, wow. Yay, we're shifting.
See, I know what I'm doing here.
I love to talk about serial killers. I know it sounds weird, but like I used to have this huge fascination. It was right after I watched that movie, Summer of Sam. And then I'm like, I kind of want to hear, because the biggest deal with that movie, like why people talk like how they hated the movie so much, was they're like, it wasn't like the total true story. And I'm like, well, no. And I think he made it clear that he was like going off on the other events that were happening during the Summer of Sam. People just like to bag on Spike Lee. They really, I don't know why people hate him so much. But so I started researching serial killers because of that movie. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't get enough. I kept reading about a different one. It's fascinating that somebody would do that to other humans.
Did you watch Night Stalker on Netflix?
I did.
Oh, that was...
Bridget, did you watch that one?
Yeah, and I lived right in the middle of it growing up.
Oh my God.
So you grew up in that area during
where
that
the
time?
murders were happening?
Yeah, I grew up in Arcadia, which is one of the cities he hit, and my block was, there was like 2 houses he hit, and I was like right in the middle, like 2 blocks this way, 2 blocks that
Wow,
way.
that close?
Yeah, and I had a family member who had just gotten out of the police academy, LAPD, and so I got to hear more about it than most people did, and when Richard Ramirez finally got apprehended, my family member was in that division, working in that division, or adjacent to it. It was like right on the border. Yeah.
Was it like scary at the time?
Yeah, and it was hot. It was a hot summer, so everybody's windows were open.
Because this
Yeah,
this
that's
happened,
how we got in.
This happened from the summer of 1984 to the summer of 1985 that he was on the loose.
Mm-hmm.
And he committed, 13 murders?
That's what shocked me.
That
I
they
had
know
no
of.
idea that I had no idea he had so many victims. And then victims of
And
a lot
child
of it,
molestation
they kept that out. Like that part was, I started crying during that part because the cop was like, because the little girl was like, he was talking about how the little girl was like, I will go ahead and testify if it means that it wouldn't happen to another little girl. And he's like big old strong cops are like, we can't do this. Like we cannot do this. We cannot put this child on the stand. So he didn't even get charged for like the other stuff.
The part about the sneaker was fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, not to give too much away to people that haven't watched it yet.
Right.
But watch it.
You can still watch it. Still watch it because it's crazy. It's crazy even like when every time they showed him, God, he just looks dead in the eyes. Just nothing there. Just a shell.
Complete lack of empathy.
Complete. Like there is not 1 ounce of empathy.
You know what? We were talking about, dating conservatives and liberals dating. What is it with women who find serial killers fascinating?
Yeah.
And they write them letters. Like
that was gross too.
Richard Ramirez.
When he's all waving to him too, when he's sitting there, because they'd show up in the court and they're like, and the one lady was funny in it. She's like, these dumb bitches don't realize that he cut them up too. Mm-hmm. Like that's what they don't get, and they're all sitting there sending him nudie pics. Like my fascination never has gone to that with a serial killer.
And there was some good looking women in that.
About them.
Yeah, there was some pretty women.
It's like you can't find a guy who doesn't murder. Like, what's wrong with you?
And he ended up getting married in prison in San Quentin.
Yeah, and I read up on that because I was like, I wonder if he's still married to that broad that like managed a party city. That's because I had seen I saw a special on women who dated / got married to serial killers, and she was on there and blowing up balloons in Party City, and But it's I go. I wonder if he's still.
Well, he's dead.
If she was like still married to him though, like up to his death, and she left him in 2013.
Oh, she did.
When it had came out, she had finally learned the truth that he had molested children,
lots of kids.
So then she was like, that finally was like.
That's what gets you.
Yeah, she's like, I'm done.
Not killing 13 people.
Yeah, the killing, the murdering of the other people. That's okay because they were all adults.
The other one that he had a huge following with fans, quote unquote, Ted Bundy.
Mm-hmm. Ted Bundy, yes.
And he confessed to 30 murders. Do you know where Ted Bundy was born? Anybody?
Where he was? Where?
I was shocked to learn this.
I don't know.
Burlington, Vermont, where I was born.
Oh, wow. Are you going to become a Ted Bundy? I'm just kidding.
Nah, I can't say anything with these mics on after the events of this week.
And then what was that thing? Well, it was some years ago, but it was like a whole bunch of serial killers had the middle name of Wayne. You remember that? There was like this phenomenon, and just criminals in general. I always thought it was funny. Every time I meet somebody with the middle name of Wayne, I'm like, I don't know.
It's crazy.
Well, now that you say that, that is true.
It seemed to be a thing for a while. So,
But it wasn't Ted Bundy was the famous one though. Like he had a lot of female.
He was the good-looking one, right?
Yeah, he was the one that killed a lot of sorority girls and prostitutes too. I think some of them were prostitutes. That a lot of them go after prostitutes because it's an easy target. They think that no one gives a shit about them,
right?
So they don't. I mean, But Ted Bundy's. Speaking a little bit on this, though, on the subject, this kind of ties in with empathy. I watched the documentary on Ted Bundy, and I found the ending disturbing, though. The people out there on his execution day, like, salivating, celebrating, selling T-shirts, and, like, having a big old party because he was getting... I'm like... You guys are almost just as bad. Like, I mean, obviously you're not as bad because you're not like torturing innocent people, but I'm like, it was kind of disgusting. I was like, was I sad that he was getting put down? Not really, but I mean, because he kind of deserved it. But the celebration, I was like, that's kind of gross.
Yeah.
It's a little demented there.
Did you see the one on Netflix last year, the Don't Fuck with Cats?
Oh, God. Like,
that kid.
I thought...
Fuck that kid.
You know, I went into that...
I almost had to go to therapy over that show.
I went into that one thinking, oh, it's just some crazy guy that tortures animals. I thought that was it. I'm like, how are they going to have
That was still too much.
How are they going to have 6 hours about torturing cats? And I was just like, holy shit.
Yep.
Because that's how they start. All of them start like with killing animals, and then they graduate. Like all of them. I think they said Dahmer did that too. Like killed a dog.
Yep.
And then Dahmer actually killed someone when he was younger and then hadn't killed for a long time and then got back into killing. His is an interesting documentary too. That's like sad. You see the neighbors like, I always thought he was a nice guy. She's like, he's invited me over to his house like to eat lunch. She goes, and I always wondered, did I eat a person?
Yeah. So is a serial killer like the epitome of a narcissist?
I think most of them are narcissists.
Yeah.
I think most of them are narcissists. Yeah, it kind of...
Okay, play a little game here. Serial killer or narcissist?
Oh, how convenient. We get to play a game. All right.
Did I just step into a segue and not even know it?
Another segues.
Wow.
Come on.
We're full of segues.
We're 30 episodes in. We're getting this down pat. Okay. Smooth but insincere.
Smooth,
It's
but
like smooth talking.
but insincere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go narcissist.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
That's technically both.
Oh. Well, you didn't tell us there's also trick questions.
Hey.
Got it.
Okay.
Egocentric.
Both.
Both.
Oh, okay. I see a trend.
Okay.
Lack of remorse.
Both.
Yeah.
Lack of empathy.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Impulsive.
Both, yeah.
All right. Deceitful and manipulative.
Both. I said I wouldn't talk about my ex-husband.
And a
so
lack of responsibility.
Both.
Both.
Okay.
All of the above.
Hey,
Well, you know, there's an asterisk because some serial killers do a pretty good job of getting rid of the evidence. You get away with it.
Yeah, like
Well,
the Green River killer.
It's responsible.
How many years did he get away with killing? The Green River killer, he spanned over several decades.
Mm-hmm.
I think he started in the 70s and went all the way to the early 2000s, maybe.
Well, being tidy doesn't necessarily mean a lack of responsibility. I mean, that means taking
Some of them
responsibility
have
for your
jobs
actions.
too. They have day jobs, and then they have to go out and hunt at night. You don't think that's responsible?
That must be tiring.
Do you
How do you
do you
sleep
know
at
how
night?
hard it is to be a serial killer? And then some of them have a family too that don't even know that they're doing all this business.
I don't know. Sounds like you know a lot about this.
Struggle is real.
I'm telling you, I've read on a lot of them.
How come there's not many lady
I could
serial
swear
killers?
there was Eileen
Because they're
Wuornos.
smarter.
Was that the one that
Eileen
Wuornos.
was that Monster?
Yeah.
Charlize Theron.
Yes.
Which is an excellent movie.
And that bitch had no remorse ever. And by the way, getting back to Richard Ramirez, because I looked up him after reading the documentary, because I'm like, is he still on death row? And then I forgot that he had died.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, it said up to the very end, he never had any remorse for anything he ever did. Ever.
God. What serial killer movies? Seven.
Oh.
7 is one of my favorites.
And yeah, I love Seven.
What's the box?
Yeah. What's in the bucket box? I know.
I think there are a lot more female serial killers we don't know about because they don't kill violently. I think they're
And
probably poisoning people.
You know what? I think
There was
you know
one
what?
in the
you know
past.
What? You know what? I think
historic
it is because women know how to get away with shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. There was one in
They'll slowly poison you over a year.
I can't remember her name, but a long time ago, she used to kill young women and then bathe in her blood.
Oh yeah,
in their blood because
in New Orleans or somewhere like that.
I can't remember, but she thought that it would keep her younger by having young women's blood, like bathing in it.
Ooh.
And I
Hey,
swear,
David.
okay, so you know, like BTK killer.
Right.
Do you remember that one? I could swear on a trip to fucking Kansas, I could swear that guy drove through my aunt's neighborhood. Because I remember we were out like playing in the yard in the summer and in Topeka, Kansas. We went and visited my aunt and cousin and we're outside playing and my aunt she started getting angry because she goes, that fucking car has driven in this neighborhood like 4 times now. So she finally went out there and she comes back and she's like, he told me that he can't remember where his girlfriend's house is. And like that always stuck with me like all these years. And I'm like, I wonder, like I was 13 at the time and I'm like, I wonder if that was the fucking BTK killer looking for victims or something. Because how do you not know where your girlfriend lives?
Yeah.
You know, it was just weird.
It's just a really shitty stalker.
You know.
Right? And I can never prove it now, but I'm like, I wonder if that was him.
You know, we were preparing to talk about serial killers because we do a little bit of planning on this podcast, even though it doesn't sound like it. But watched The Little Things last night on HBO. The new Denzel Washington. What's that guy's name?
Rami
Malek. Played
Freddie Mercury. We'll just call him Freddie
I gotta write
Mercury.
this shit down.
And
We'll
talk about this.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, who is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But
I also like Denzel Washington
but
too.
that
He's
movie
a
was
good actor.
kind of disappointing, though.
It was real fucking disappointing. I understand why critics are harsh assholes sometimes. Because I am getting sick and tired, and I am talking to you, Hollywood. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing regurgitated crap from you all the time.
Well, they don't want to pay any writers. They're cheap.
I know, and the whole time I'm watching this movie, like the whole first hour and probably 20 minutes into this movie, I'm like, this movie is so fucking slow. And you can't have a movie that goes that slow when you're discussing a topic like a serial killer, in my opinion. I mean, there's supposed to be like multiple murders happening and whatnot. And then I was like, why is Freddie Mercury's face looking like Freddie Mercury in this? I'm like, why is Freddie Mercury like such a dick and doing that thing with his mouth? I'm like, does this guy not know that he's not playing Freddie Mercury? And then I realized that his fucking mouth is like that. So Rami Malek is like typecast in only being able to play Freddie Mercury. I mean, because I can't get away from the face. I can't watch him in anything else now.
Well, they could remake Mr. Ed, and you could be in that.
Oh, mean! I wouldn't mind seeing tons of movies about Freddie Mercury. He's
When his
one of my
co-star be
favorite
Sarah Jessica
people.
Parker.
Oh,
Sorry.
why the long
I
face?
just watched Sex in the City the other day. So I was like, I haven't seen that in a while. Horse face.
Oh, they They should do a serial killer movie with Sex in the City. Go around and kill each one of them very slowly.
Oh.
Samantha's Revenge. Since they wrote her out of the movie. Or the new series, or whatever the heck's going on.
Is there a new series?
They're going to regurgitate this, yeah.
No.
Oh, no, isn't it supposed to be about the young Sarah Jessica Parker?
And
why do I know this?
Well, the three are coming back, and there's no Samantha because they all hate each other or something.
Aren't they like 60 or 70 now?
Yes.
Like, what? How? What?
Wouldn't you just
Why
call
don't they just call it the Golden Girls?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You stole my joke.
No, like the Golden Girls. Number one, the Golden Girls. If you think about it, is the original Sex in the City, anyways.
Yep.
Right.
Hello.
Bunch of horny old women.
That would be the Samantha. Rue McClanahan was the Samantha one. Betty White's character would have been the Charlotte. Okay. The Carrie would have been the Dorothy, because Dorothy always wore those, like, you know, fashionable
She had
dresses.
the witty,
She had the fashion
witty
going down.
comebacks. Yeah.
And then, the sassy one, the mom, would have been the lawyer lady, because she's always, like, yelling at people.
Mm-hmm.
She would be yelling
Like
at
this, yeah.
Yeah. They already redid Golden Girls. They turned it into Sex and the City.
Yeah. I wonder if they had like all the cattiness that was going on between like Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker. Those are the two that hate each other, right?
I thought the lady that plays the lawyer wouldn't ever go back to that, because I thought she was the one that was like glad that it was over.
She ran for
office.
Congress or something, yeah.
Yeah. Because she was recently on like John Fugelsang's show. I call him my boyfriend. I wish I could find a boyfriend like that. A man like that. That's like my dream. But like, he had her on and was talking about how they weren't going to talk about Sex in the City because it was such an awful time in her life. Cynthia Nixon.
Yeah.
That's her
Oh,
name.
hey.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to Google that one.
It took me that long to be like,
Okay.
that is it.
That's what we call stalling. We were just
Right.
talking around the subject till we could think of it.
Right.
Oh.
So, getting back to that movie though, the only one that I really liked his performance in it was Jared Leto. I thought he did a good job
Yeah.
of being a creep.
Did he gain weight on that? Or was that like a fat suit?
They put him in a fat... They've been doing this thing with the fat suit lately in movies.
Was Denzel a fat suit?
I thought he was too. I looked his up because I'm like, are both of them wearing fat suits?
I mean, Denzel wasn't bad. Denzel just looked like he had... Well, not Denzel. Jared. He just looked like he had beer gut in it.
Right. They had him have beer gut. But Denzel looked kind of heavy, and he looked a lot older. But then I looked it up, and he is 66. So, there's that.
Wow. There's no better Denzel than Training Day.
You don't like him in Philadelphia?
Oh, Philadelphia's good too, but Training Day was the best one.
Yeah, he's good in Training Day, but he's good in a lot of... He's good as... Oh my God. One of my favorite characters that he plays is Reuben, the Hurricane Carter.
Oh, yeah.
That movie is a good movie.
Yeah, it was good movie.
And I was like, how fucking fucked up is that? You know that guy, he moved with the Canadians that helped get him out? He was like, I'm getting the fuck out of the United States.
So I guess the moral of the story is little things. It's watchable, just slow, but you would think with 3 Oscar-winning actors that it would have been a lot. I was expecting so much more. I was expecting a 7 type of.
And there is a twist in it, but it's like the lamest twist ever, because it's like, well, the movie's over. Like, that's how
that was.
I thought.
There was no M. Night Shyamalan
Maybe I
twist.
won't watch this one.
Right? Yeah.
No, watch it.
Or watch it so you can be like, yeah, it was awful.
You could be like, those two are full of shit.
Yeah.
Or you could like it. Yeah, that's what I said. So that's what I said about the new Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I didn't even want to vocalize my opinions because
I couldn't get into it either.
No, everyone was saying how awful it was, and I was like,
okay.
I didn't think it was that bad. I'm like, I thought
it was okay. I mean, I don't know.
But I
It was
like,
okay.
Yeah.
The problem with that is the first Wonder Woman set the bar so high that I was expecting it to at least come close to that. And
it's probably like, I don't even remember the first one anymore. Wasn't
This
it
one-
like several years ago?
It was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
They took an awful long time to come out with the second.
Well, yeah, but this movie was been done for a year because of COVID. It never got to the theaters. It was supposed to be out last summer, and it was filmed at least a year and a half before that.
And I'm really ADD with movies. If it doesn't grab me in the first 2 minutes, forget it.
Oh, then
I'm gonna be on my phone.
I start picking up my phone.
Don't watch the little things then because it takes a while.
It is the slowest moving movie I've.
I need instant gratification that comes entertainment.
I was like, the one thing I got was like, hey, that was Bakersfield.
What is that? Where they were in Bakersfield?
You know, in the very beginning, the first girl that gets chased by the car.
Yeah,
that was Bakersfield.
Okay.
Because Denzel Washington's character worked for the Kern County Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
And I was like, why does Kern County sound familiar? And I had to Google it. I said, Bakersfield. And I was like, oh, Snow and I had a good adventure in Bakersfield.
I like Bakersfield. I've been there since the time that we went, too. And I actually like it, even though I know that I think it's the most conservative city in California. Yeah. But I had a really good time there.
You know, Bakersfield is kind of sort of like a bigger Kingman.
I was just gonna say it's the Kingman of we're the Bakersfield of Arizona. You know,
because Bakersfield also has a hip little downtown.
Yeah, and the Padre Hotel is the coolest hotel ever.
Right, the haunted hotel.
It's just cool. People, if you're in that area, stay there. It is a nice hotel. They have nice rooms. Super hip and cool.
And the food.
And they have good food.
Yeah, the food in the bar area was good. Mm-hmm. Where we got to drink with Jim Jeffries, which was a fun night.
Jim Jeffries?
I'm sure Jim Jeffries does not remember that night.
No. He was pretty fucked up. But it was fun.
Oh, so anything else, Bridget?
Oh, so much to talk about, but so little time.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to break this one.
If you want to ever get into media and truth-telling and Freedom of Information Act and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Call me.
No, we do. We got to have you on again.
Yeah.
We always do this, too. We're planning, to talk about all these topics, and then we're like, damn it, then it takes... Then we get... off on all these tangents. Mostly me. When I say me, I mean me.
You know, and I was sitting here jotting down some notes because I was thinking, oh, well, there's no way that, I'm like, this is going to probably take 20 minutes to blow through all this material, and then we'll need some other stuff to talk about, and then we just end up rambling on and on.
No.
I have a lot of years of stirring shit. Professionally, not just on Facebook.
And not just in your dating life either.
Nope.
We've got to have an episode on stirring shit.
Mm-hmm. I don't have an ANA newspaper or the FCC behind me anymore, so I can't really stir any real shit anymore, but I can talk about it.
Yes. We want to hear all
I can't do it, but I can talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do another one. We'll get Aaron here, too, for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we need another media person.
I'm sure we'll have a lot in common.
Aaron's on assignment out in Oatman for the bed races.
Aaron and Stephanie.
Is he going to go on assignment to the social club?
Oh, we should send him there, too.
I think so. I'll put up the $25. I'll get him in there.
What's the social club?
It's basically this club where you can go in there and not lose your freedoms.
Yeah. You don't have to wear a mask. You can hug people.
Oh.
Yeah, they're going to have a hug.
It's a private club under the auspices of a religion. Is this correct?
Something like that.
And it's in Oakland.
Isn't it owned by the or is it on the property that
it's
the gun nut guy?
Yeah, the guy that jogs with the AK.
Oh,
yeah.
Luca?
Luca, yeah.
It's his I believe it's his retail space.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I did see his advertisement for the social club.
Yeah, he finally found somebody to lease the space himself.
So they're gonna have a hug
I
night.
live on the second floor.
It almost sounded like one of those pop-up sex clubs to me, but who knows?
That's what I thought you meant at first. I'm like, what, social club? What is this? One of those things I've heard about in Bullhead?
His advertising's been very raunchy.
And he puts in there stuff about dating too during COVID. He's wondering if maybe you can find the love of your life or something.
I'm betting there's a stripper pole. There's got to be a stripper pole.
And
ew.
They can't call it a champagne room.
Yeah,
but
there's a VIP room, sure. I'm sure there is.
If they had a champagne room, there's probably sex in that champagne room.
We gotta send him in there.
God.
As an undercover lover.
I will. I'm putting up the entry fee right now. I'm on air promising this.
Oh, so he charges an entry fee.
$25. Yep.
$25 just to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think he's doing it just as a money-making scheme for himself?
$25 to go in and just hug people or whatever they're going to do.
And also,
I don't know what they're doing.
You have to bring your own beverages too.
Yeah, he probably can't have. You have to probably bring your own alcohol because
that's what he put on there.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a license.
Yeah, he's like, you have to bring your own.
And that's what they do at swinger clubs. So I'm like, it's probably something like that. I don't know. I don't know. We have to know.
Can you imagine the type of people that go there?
Yeah, but who can afford the $25 to get in around here?
I know, in Kingman.
So I don't know.
People don't have an extra $25 lying around.
Especially if there's, the pandemic.
I know.
I don't know. But I don't want to go in there, but I want to know what's going on. So.
Well, yeah, but you can
Inquiring minds want to know.
You've already had COVID.
I have. I have the antibodies.
So then you can go in. You're the safest one to go.
Ugh.
So we're going to put you on assignment. We'll put up to 25.
And he knows he knows me too, so
I know.
I don't know. He and I used to be actually friends.
Really?
Yes.
You were friends with him?
Yes, for quite a while.
Is he off his rocker nuts?
Yes.
I don't know this for a fact, but there have been other people who have theorized that he may be an agent provocateur.
Yeah, because...
Wait, what exactly is that?
He's working for some other entity to stir up stuff to get intel.
So what do you...
I have no evidence. This is just a theory by somebody, not me.
We're just throwing this out there.
Yeah, he's on the Southern Poverty Center law site. Southern Poverty Center.
Yeah,
I can't talk today.
He's on their
SPLC. He's on their watch list.
He's on their watch list.
And he has been for a very long time.
Oh, well, he should be on there though.
Yeah.
He's
now.
The only thing I know about him is that he is like he always talks about how he is an immigrant from Italy and lived under the fascism of Mussolini. He was a little boy at the time. But that is why he loves America so much, because he can have all the guns he wants. And back when he was living there, the Italians were not allowed to own guns and blah, blah, blah. And he goes on and on and on. So how does somebody like that not understand the correlation between Mussolini and like Donald Trump? I'm not saying that Donald Trump is just like Mussolini, because I don't like when people do the comparisons of like, you can compare traits, but like calling Donald Trump Hitler,
Yeah,
but the similarities to point them out, like how did they not pick up on this? Like
they won't.
Donald Trump is definitely a fascist, and he wanted to be a dictator in America.
Bridget, did you know us back when we our first media foray was we wrote an opinion piece for the Daily Miner? And then it was in direct response to something Luca had written right after the Parkland shooting.
I can tell you.
Very vaguely recollect that.
He was like, I can tell you, and it went on about guns. So
we did.
Snow and I did
a reverse on his bullet
back and forth.
Points.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God! But one of the best things that came out of that. So then we went to the March for Our Lives rally here. And then we found out, I'm not kidding, I started crying when I found this out. Because remember, MJ, when you told me, you're like, some of the people that they read our article and they decided to go register as Democrats. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't even talk.
I think I remember you posting. I think that's right about when I started to get to know, as I think that's when I saw maybe you posted something about that. That I remember. I remember you getting people to switch over.
Well,
I probably did.
It's probably through Jim or somebody.
To this day on the Daily...
Yes, she posted stuff on that
on the Daily Miner Facebook page, we had the most comments
Nice.
ever.
Well done.
Ever.
Well done, my
I think they ended up blocking it.
Yeah, well,
when it got up to like 500.
we ended up blocking it because
we didn't. They did.
No. I ended up getting it. Well, the minor shut off the comments.
Yeah,
but that was because of me, because people knew who I was, and you were using snow, and nobody knows. Oh, there's no snow on.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, they had got so mad they were trying to
they got so mad, and
I'm remembering this now.
And on my Facebook page used to work at a certain place, and they were like, call this place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait. I tried to shut down. I'm like, look,
it's probably about the time I friended both of you.
I was like,
let's
yeah.
burn him at the stake.
Yeah, I was like,
They went crazy.
I was like, look, I don't want any trouble for that business. Let's not don't go show that I don't work there. And they were like, oh, he's lying. Go down there. And I was just like,
that was that Bonnie lady.
They were trying to dox you.
We won't say her last name, but remember Bonnie?
Yeah.
And I was always like, well, I used to call her Bonnard because I'm like, she talks like a man. She's so mean. Like she was like hateful every time she'd make a call. I haven't seen her in forever. I wonder what happened to her.
I don't know. Maybe she made a threat to somebody and went away.
Yeah, I know Luca way back from my K-Talks days over a decade ago. He had a show there too. So
he had a show.
They let him have a show.
Guns, Love, and Freedom. He may still do it. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in
Guns, Love, and Freedom.
Yeah, I did recently refriend him to see what he was up to.
Where
does God come in?
It?
Where does God come in?
I don't know. Well, I came out on the air like a decade ago as bi on K-Talks, and then he wanted me to come on and talk, like be the counterpoint for some LGBT discussion. I refused. I said, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah.
How did you come out on the air?
It was coming out day, 2011, I think it was. And I just said it. I just came out. Yeah.
We're gonna call that one a tease for the next.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we'll get to that story.
But Luke is a hell of a cook. He's a very good cook.
Well,
he should open a restaurant. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's.
Well, yeah, but we have him on the pizza.
Well, no, Snow and I couldn't go there. He'd poison us.
I did go there out of pure curiosity, and I had a very good meatball sandwich, but it took a really long time to get.
Oh, okay. Yeah, people have said
very
that the
slow.
food is really, really good.
It's great. I had to go. I went once. I took my Trump-loving friend with me. He didn't even know about it, so I know he's not like that into the whole.
Oh, okay.
He's like, what is this place? So he had no idea what it was. So that was good.
Well, hopefully we will expand our boundaries here. Date conservatives.
That guy went to didn't that guy go to the insurrection? He said he didn't break into the Capitol, but I thought he was the one from here that went.
I have no idea. This is news to me.
Oh, that they had talked about, like they were.
Oh, maybe.
I saw like the article or whatnot. He said that because he's the one that started saying everyone that went to protest for our rights and our president.
Steve Robinson.
Yeah, I thought that was him. No,
yeah, he didn't go into the Capitol, but he was in the crowd outside.
Right, and he tried to say it was Antifa that was there, and they're the ones that broke in. He was all saying that.
I think he would have gone in if he had a chance.
I know. And I think, like, I've been telling all of them, I'm like, if you think it was Antifa, you need to turn them into the FBI tip line.
Yeah. There's another one that, don't even get me started.
Well, I think we'll continue this one on another episode.
Just keep stirring. Just keep stirring.
No.
Bye,
Stir
y'all.
up. That's going to be the next episode.
Yeah, we could do it that way.
All right. Well, that wraps up this week's. We will talk to you soon. And bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.